So, yeah, I know it's Monday. I usually do have live sessions on weekends. Hi, Sean, how are you? So, yeah, we will cover Venus aspects, and if you have any further question, then you can ask once I completed this Venus aspect topic. Uh, so, let's start. Uh, so again, yeah, I wanted to show something. So this is the picture I was posting. So he is keeping an eye on. Okay, fine. Wait. So Venus aspect. How we should interpret Venus aspect. This is my opinion. You can have your own way. Anyone else can have his own way. It is not necessary that whatever I am saying is correct, and only that much is correct. Anyone can have different opinion, and differences of opinions should be there. It only proves the uh, freedom of mind, freedom of thoughts. Okay. So Venus, as it represents all the pleasant things we like in our life. Venus represents beauty. Venus represents the luxury, wealth, conveniences, all the luxury items, vehicles, food, clothing, all the things which make our life comfortable is Venus. But mainly Venus is seen for love and relationship. Okay. It is also your interest and hobbies, what you like to do or what you love to do is Venus. Wherever Venus is sitting, those things we love to do. Okay, those things naturally attract us. Okay, now wherever Venus is aspecting, now the as the topic for us is how to interpret aspect. So wherever Venus is sitting, those things which first of all, Venus is love everywhere. Wherever it sits, wherever it aspects, it is love. For a second thing, where it sits, those things we naturally love, naturally interested in or inclined to do. Wherever it aspects, person may need to put an effort in those things. Okay, person will still love those things. Okay, understand that person will still love those things. Will still be very much inclined to engage in those activities of the house where Venus is aspecting, but person may have to uh, put a extra effort into it because Venus is aspecting. As I said, that any planet sitting anywhere has the highest prominence. Means any planet which is sitting in one house, that house is impacted by that planet completely, 100%. But wherever it aspects, the energy is not that much, right? I'm sitting here in this room and my energy is 100% here, but if I aspect out of the window, then my energy is not that much. Okay, it is just an aspect. So wherever Venus sits, those things or activities are such which we are naturally inclined to do or interested to do. But wherever Venus aspects, those things which we also we love, but we have to put some efforts into it because it is aspect. So they're like Venus is in first house. Okay. First of all, Venus is in first house. That person can be very much conscious about how he looks. Okay, his appearance. They would love to look very beautiful, very pleasant, and very means presentable. Okay, when Venus is in the first house, so their love is upon themselves. Okay, they love themselves. Then Venus aspects the seventh house. That shows that person is very much inclined in interacting or communicating or engaging themselves in relationship matters with his spouse or normally with other people, masses also. They would love to interact with the masses, but they would have to put an extra effort to do it, to achieve it. Okay, that thing will not come naturally. As it is an aspect, it will take some time to grow. Okay, so the person will have to put an extra effort to engage with other people. Okay, or engage with the spouse partner, they have to put an extra effort. Venus in the second house, they can be very much connected with their family, the house of family and wealth. They can be very much connected with family. They can be very much concerned about the wealth factor. They would love to have more and more wealth. I know everyone likes to have a convenient and wealthy life, but still they would have lots of inclination and interest towards hoarding wealth. Okay, now the Venus in second house is making them attached to their family and wealth. They can have very pleasant speech when Venus is in the second house, because it is the house of speech. They can have very pleasant way of talking. Okay, then Venus aspects the eighth house. So it shows that someone who is very much interested in occult side of life, very much interested in research, but again they have to put an extra effort to gain anything out of that. If they are interested, just an interest won't do anything, right? Person has to put an effort into it. So Venus aspect on the eighth house makes them attract towards occult related things, but it will it will make them put an extra effort to get any result out of that. Okay, so Venus in second house is attachment with the family, wealth, and all, and its aspect on eighth house means a special effort, extra effort is necessary to gain anything out of eighth house matters, which are research, occult, or mysticism. It also shows the person has to put an extra effort in his married life, because it is also house of marriage benefits and in-laws. So person may have some issues with the in-laws or in marriage life, and he may have to put an extra effort to resolve those things. Venus in third house, again, it is a person who can have very pleasant way of talking. Okay, Venus in third house or Venus in Gemini. These people are beautiful in talking. Okay, because Venus is beauty and the third house is communication, Gemini is communication. They can have a very beautiful way of communicating with others. Now, as Venus is in the third house, they like communicating. They love communicating with others. They love to interact with others. Plus, their love is more towards their siblings, their friends, their cousins, people they interact with. All those things are very important for them. They naturally get attracted towards that. But then they are equally interested in their higher learnings, the ninth house aspect. Venus aspect is going on to the ninth house, and it shows that person is very much interested in the learning of religious texts, philosophy, literature, religion, spirituality, all these things. They are very much interested in learning all these things. But again, Venus aspect will require some effort on their side, some extra effort on their side to explore this love or interest towards higher education. Then Venus is in the fourth house. So naturally, love is towards mother. Love is towards real estate also. They may have a special love towards acquiring more and more real estate, land, building house. All these things can be very important to them. Then we, it also gives a special love towards mother. Okay, or they find or their home only, means they may like to spend most of the time at their home. Venus in the fourth house, but again it gives an aspect to 10th house. 10th house means father. 10th house means career, work, or people outside your home, the society. So to communicate or connect with the father, they have to put an extra effort. to communicate and connect or make a name for themselves in the society, they have to put an extra effort. It will not come as naturally as Venus, wherever Venus is sitting. The aspect will never come that naturally. Okay. So Venus aspect on 10th house shows a certain inclination or certain interest towards the 10th house matters, which are career, work, or father related matters. But the person has to put an effort to it. It won't come easily. Then Venus is in the 5th house. A person who is very creative. 5th house is the house of creativity. The 5th house is also house of children, love, romance, and they can be very romantic people. It may be that they cannot love without, they cannot live without relationship. They cannot live without love in their life when Venus is in the 5th house. So it gives a natural tendency to get into love relationship. They can be very creative. They can be very much educated also, because it is also house of education. So they may have lots of interest in educating themselves or in their creative pursuits. So and this will come naturally because Venus is sitting there. Now Venus is aspecting the 11th house, so it shows that they would be inclined to serve society. They would be inclined to serve a higher cause through their education, through their creativity, but it will require again an extra effort. The love will be there, the interest will be there, that I want to do something something higher in the society, something big for everyone. Okay, but how I will do, what I should do to find out all these things, they have to put an extra effort. Okay. Venus is in the 6th house, not good for relationship, not good because it is the house of disputes and conflicts. 6th house is the natural house of Virgo. Virgo is the natural sixth sign, so it represents the 6th house energy. So Venus is debilitated in Virgo. So when Venus comes into the 6th house, it has almost the same quality as Venus in Virgo. So when Venus is in the 6th house, it is not good for relationship point of view, but it is also house of service to society. It is also house to uh, it is also house to serve society or serve downtrodden people. Even they can have a special love towards these pets, animals. Okay, Venus in the this Venus ruling or Venus in the 6th house can give a special love to pets. Normally, they can even become a veterinary doctor. Okay, so Venus in the 6th house can give lots of love towards serving society, serving the downtrodden. This comes naturally to them. Like I have a friend who has Venus ruling the 6th house with Rahu Jupiter conjunction there. So she is all about pets. She is all about animals. She like when I actually while normally interacting, I use the word animal. She felt offended that they cannot be called animals. So this kind type of love can be there for pets and for animals when Venus is impacting your 6th house. Now, Venus is aspecting the 12th house, so it shows a special interest, a special love towards this foreign land or foreign culture or spiritual matters. They can have a special interest towards learning about spirituality, about different foreign people. Like the person I am talking with is not from India, so she has a special interest in learning Indian culture and this astrology and all. So this interest is coming from Venus. This Venus aspecting the 12th house. This interest normally comes. So person gets more interested in foreign cultures. But again, it will require a definite effort. It will require an extra effort to get to achieve something in that area. Hi, Achal. So this is the thing. Then Venus comes into the seventh house. Venus in the seventh house means person is very much about relationship. This person again cannot live without relationship. I don't think Venus in the fifth, Venus in the seventh, and the Moon in the seventh house. Yeah, uh, these are the positions where person has to get into relationship or into business. Okay, or he has to interact with the other people. He has to interact with the masses to feel comfortable in his life. So when Venus is in the seventh house, the person is all about relationship, is all about spouse, partner, or other people. They cannot live without relationship. Somehow they have to get into relationship. Now this is natural for them. Venus sitting in the seventh house. Then Venus aspecting the first house shows the moment they get into relationship, they feel good about themselves. They feel that they are lovable. Okay, when Venus is in the seventh house and aspects the first house, it shows someone who is who who identifies himself from his spouse, from his partner. The moment they get into relationship, they feel good about themselves. They feel they are worthy enough. In a way, it is a wrong thing, right? You cannot depend too much upon your spouse, too much upon your partner. Okay, so this is something which I would say that person needs to correct if it is there. Hi, Tapshri. So this is something one should correct about himself if it is there. Okay, that you cannot depend upon your spouse or partner up to that limit. That you feel good about yourself only when you are in relationship. This is not correct. Then Venus in the seventh house, as I said, its aspect on the first house can also make someone very creative, very means very much involved in creative activities, because Venus itself represents creativity, and it is aspecting the self house of self. Venus in the first house also makes person very creative. So this is the thing. But again, person has to put an extra effort to find themselves, the first house self. So they have to put an extra effort to find themselves or their creative pursuits. What creativity they should follow. Again, the person would Venus in the seventh house. Person would love to be in a relationship, but uh, drawbacks, I will call this as a drawback, that person feels good about himself only when he is in relationship. Otherwise he feels that normally he feels that he is kind of not worthy. Okay, so this is kind of drawback for me at least. Then Venus in the eighth house. Venus in the eighth house gives natural love towards occult mysticism or any kind of research related activities. Whenever Venus is in the eighth house, person is very much interested in knowing about the occult mystical things. They are very research oriented. Okay, that comes naturally to them. Venus aspect on the second house. Now they have to put an extra effort to make a pleasant environment in their family. Venus aspect on the second house gives an inclination, gives an interest in having a good communicative, good pleasant environment in the family, having good relationship in family. But now they have to put an extra effort because Venus is sitting in the eighth house and aspecting the second house. So now it is role reversal. Venus in the ninth house gives a special interest, a special love towards all the higher learning, all the religious studies, philosophical studies. Those things come naturally. The person won't have to won't have to put an extra effort when Venus is in the ninth house to learn things. Okay, those things naturally come, means naturally you will find people who are giving you books, and you who are giving you some material to read. Okay, this will happen naturally to them, but where they have to put an extra effort is in their communication, is in their business. We have Venus aspect the third house, so when they think about doing their own business or putting self effort there, they would love to do. Okay, the natural love or inclination will be there, but person would have to put an extra effort to achieve it, because again it is aspect. Venus in the 10th house, again your love is coming to your father. The person loves his father like anything when Venus is in the 10th house. So naturally, a person is very much connected with the father. Okay, and now he has to put an extra effort to make his relationship with mother work. Okay, they have to put an extra effort how to make their home environment pleasant one. So all these things are there because Venus is now in the 10th house. So person has natural love towards father, authority, bosses, and people in their career field. So they naturally get connected with all these things. They won't have to put an extra effort. But when it comes to their relationship with mother, or acquiring a real estate property, or having a good environment, having a good beautiful environment in home, it shows someone who has to put an extra effort. Venus in the fourth house, I forgot that it can also make someone very much interested in interior decoration. They like to beautify their home. Okay, so when Venus is in the 10th house and aspecting fourth house, person would have to put an extra effort to uh, make their home environment pleasant and beautiful. Venus in the 11th house. Venus in the 11th house means person is naturally getting inclined towards service to the people, serving a higher cause, serving humanity. All these things are natural to them. They can be rich people also, because it is one of the house of wealth. Venus in the second and 11th house can give good wealth. Okay. Then 11th house is also a house of this elder sibling. So they can have natural love and affection towards their elder sibling. They can get benefits also from them. But again, Venus is aspecting the fifth house. So now they have to put an extra effort for their education, for their creativity, for their all the creative pursuits. First of all, they have to find which creative pursuit they should follow. And then they have to put an extra effort to get it, to finally find it, accomplish it, not find it, but accomplish it. So Venus sitting in the 11th house can make someone very much service oriented, has a service to the people. Then Venus aspecting the fifth house can make same person very much inclined towards his creative pursuits or education, but now an extra effort is necessary. It won't come easily. Okay. Last, Venus in the 12th house. It is the natural house of Pisces. Pisces is the natural 12th sign where Venus is exalted. Okay. So when Venus is in the 12th house, now it is necessary to understand that either Venus is debilitated or exalted. Okay, it doesn't make much change in relationship. Okay, why I'm saying so? Because Venus debilitated means Venus is in Virgo. Person has a nitpicky nature. Right? Person is finding fault in his partner. Person is not appreciating his relationship. Okay, that's why a relationship go through a troublesome time when Venus is in Virgo. But when Venus is in Pisces, Pisces is the sign of imagination. Pisces is the sign of spirituality, creativity, but it is also of imagination. So most of the time they can be very imaginative about their love story. They are not practical people. When Venus is in Pisces, they can be very imaginative about their love matters. So that's why they can have troublesome time too. Now Venus in Virgo and Venus is Pisces is giving the same result, but because of different reasons. Okay. So Venus in Virgo is giving you a problem in relationship because of your conflicting nature, because of your nature of finding fault with the other person. But Venus in Pisces is like an imaginative lover who can fall in love with almost anyone. Means he has just seen a girl, and within no time he will create a whole story into his mind. Okay. So this is what happens with Venus in Pisces. Second thing is that they also seek a an ideal love, a perfect love, and there is nothing like ideal love or perfect love. So Venus in Pisces can also have troublesome time in a relationship, not only Venus in Virgo. So when Venus is in 12th house, it has the same energy of Pisces. So person can be very imaginative about his love story. Person can make a story out of nothing, and that can make relationship troublesome. Also, 12th house is basically the house of losses. Okay, understand this. It is the house of losses. Whichever planet is going into the 12th house, you can consider that to start with your life, it is in the bucket of losses. Now, if you want to gain anything out of this planet, you have to put an extra effort. So when Venus is in the sign of Venus is in the house of 12th house, the person will have lots of problem in connecting with his love interest. Person will have lots of problem in communicating with love relationship matters, because it is in the house of losses. In early life, he may not find the way to get a good relationship. Even if he gets a good relation, he may not even know how to sustain it. Okay, so this is what happens with Venus in Pisces or Venus in 12th house. That 12th house is the house of losses. It has gone into the bucket of loss. Now if you want to gain out of it, you have to put a double effort. That means you have to more compromising, you have to be more adjusting, accommodating with the person you are in relationship with. Okay, and it is only from the one side. I'm only talking about the one planet in one chart. Your whole chart becomes important when it comes to relationship. Other person's whole chart becomes important. But this is the prima facie challenge one has when Venus is in the 12th house, that his relationship can be of some trouble because of either of his imaginative nature, that he is expecting a very perfect type of love or lover, or he has no experience on how to deal with the relationship matters. Okay, so when Venus is in the 12th house, the person has a very natural attraction towards foreign culture, foreign lands, or people. Then the person will have a natural attraction towards this uh, spirituality and all the things. He will love to travel also. Means Venus in the 9th house and Venus in the 12th house, Venus in the 3rd house also, the person will love to travel a lot. Okay, so when Venus is there in the 12th house, person loves to travel. But now Venus aspect is going into the 6th house. Now this is the point I was talking about. 6th house is the house of conflicts and diseases. The person doesn't know how to deal with conflicts and diseases. The person doesn't know how to avoid it, how to create a situation where you just avoid a conflict before it becomes a troublesome one. Okay, Venus in 12th house will have this problem of avoiding the conflict at the right time. So that is what adds to the troubles in relationship. Second thing is that as we discussed, sixth house is also the house of services, and Venus highest representation is actually service and devotion. So they can be very much service oriented. When they are into service of other people, they can be very much devoted to that, and they seek their spirituality through service. But when it comes to relationship, they have to put an extra effort. When Venus is in the 12th house, they have to put an extra effort to get anything good in their relationship, because it is in the house of losses. So this is kind of troublesome. Means all the houses, 6th, 8th and 12th. Venus in the 6th, we discussed that it is a natural house of Virgo, so it can give conflicts and disputes in relationship. But then Venus in the 8th house is the house of sudden events, changes, ups and downs. So it can give problems with the instability in relationship. Then Venus in the 12th house is the natural house of losses. So a person may feel, okay, it can also happen that person has a good relationship going on, but he may feel that a sense of loss of relationship. He may feel that, okay, I could have got better relationship, I could have got a better spouse. Okay, so even this is the sense of loss. Okay, so this is something which they need to realize, that no matter whom you have got married, your Venus is in the 12th house, you would have got the same person. So this is how I feel about Venus aspects. Any questions, if anyone wants to ask, they are free. When it comes to, I will just give some additional information till then. If anyone wants to post any question, then they can. Otherwise, we can stop it in next 5 minutes. For 5 minutes, I will have some information to give. So when it is about dealing with disputes and conflicts, the one placement which can be helpful is Mars in the 3rd house. When person has Mars in the 3rd house, its 4th aspect goes to the 6th house. Okay, so person can be very proactive in dealing with disputes and conflicts. Okay, Mars is in the 3rd house, its 4th aspect is going on to the 6th house. So person can be very proactive in dealing with the disputes and conflict. That means person sees the conflict coming, okay, in advance, and he starts preparing for it. He starts preparing to how to nullify it, how to reduce the impact of that conflict. Okay, so whenever they see a conflict arising in the family, they will be proactive in discussing with all the family members. They are discussing with the people who are in conflict, and to resolve the matter before it becomes a headache. Okay, so Mars in the 3rd house can be a good position to avoid the conflict. Jupiter in good position in the 6th house. Jupiter can okay. Jupiter in 6th house can make you safeguard against the disputes and conflicts. If Jupiter is alone in the 6th house, it shows that person can safeguard themselves against disputes and conflicts, and even against diseases. Like Amitabh Bachchan has uh, Jupiter in the 6th house. So, and he came out of his that coolie accident and all the illness because Jupiter prevented safeguarded him against the illness. My Venus is in the 12th house with Ketu, Mars in the 10th house. Okay. And in 6th house, Moon and Rahu. Okay. So first of all, as I said, Venus is in the 12th house. It is in the house of losses. So first, you need to accept it that it is in the bucket of losses. Now, if you want to gain anything out of it, you have to put in double effort. You have to make more compromises, adjustments, or accommodations to make your relationship work. Okay. Otherwise, you will have a feeling that you are kind of wasting your time in your relationship. It is kind of a feeling of loss in relationship. Okay. Mars is in 10th. I don't know how it is impacting relationship, but still it is a good position for career. Mars in 10th house. I don't know the sign, but if it even if it is in friendly sign or home sign or exaltation sign, it is a very good position for career. Sixth house moon Rahu. Rahu moon conjunction means it gives this obsessive mind. Rahu is obsession, moon is mind. Okay. Rahu is obsession, moon is mind, so it gives a very obsessive mind. The person is like, I want to get this thing and I want to get it right now. Okay. We can say a kind of OCD case, obsessive compulsive disorder. So the only thing that can help the person in this case is meditation. He has to go into the meditation. He has to calm down his mind. Okay, so then it can be helpful. Otherwise, uh, it can cause troubles in relationship. Venus in the 12th house, Moon in the 6th house, and with Rahu in the 6th house. Okay, so you need to work on these two things. You need to be more adjusting and accommodating in relationship. Plus, you need to have this. You can say meditation is like breathing for you. It is like oxygen for you. If you cannot meditate, you are in for a troublesome time. Okay. So you need to meditate as soon as possible. You may not like what I am saying, but that is the way. You need to realize it, that you need to get into meditation. Rahu moon conjunction can be troublesome. You need to calm down your mind. Okay, no matter how far they are. Okay, even if they are 20 degrees apart, they will somehow impact each other in some dasha, and it will screw your life. So better to start meditating to calm that mind down. And then you can expect a better relationship. Normally people say that what will happen out of meditation. So thing is that meditation cannot solve any of your problem. First of all, understand this: meditation won't solve any problem, but it is only that person will stop treating those things as a problem. Person won't treat those things as a problem anymore when meditation is there. Okay, person is meditating regularly, then person won't treat those things as a problem. Like I am having this uh, discussions on Facebook regularly, where people used to comment on almost every post of mine, and I am not in my Facebook page, but in my profile page, where even if I post something on politics or sports or something like that, people normally comment. Okay, normally can comment, and I am feeling that why you need to react at everything, why you need to react and comment at everything, why you cannot ignore things. That's what I am just wondering, why people cannot ignore things. And that's what comes with meditation. When we start meditating, we start ignoring many things. Okay, many things which can make troublesome, may make our life troublesome. So that's where I am saying that meditation can be very important for you, and you can gain a lot of out of it. You will start ignoring many things which may uh, get you into the trouble. Okay. So, if you have an interest in meditation and all, you must, even if you don't have interest, at least you should try to get into it. It is not that you have to join some classes. It is not that you have to join some course. Every information is available on YouTube. I can tell about myself. I never joined any class. I never joined any course and of astrology. I learned everything from YouTube and Google. Okay, so if I can do it, anyone can do it, right? If uh, not so intelligent person like me can do it, then all others are very intelligent. Yep, welcome. So, any further question before we close? Libra ascendant with Venus is in the 8th house with Saturn, third aspect from 6th house. What will be the impact in life? First of all, the person's life can go through lots of ups and downs. Okay. If we just pay attention, Libra's ascendant chart is totally upside down. First house is the house of self. The sign coming there is Libra, which is a sign of others. Seventh house is the house of others, and the sign coming there is Aries, which is the sign of self. Fourth house is the house of mother, and the sign coming there is Capricorn, which is a sign of father. 10th house is the house of father, and sign coming there is Cancer, which is the sign of mother. So Libra's chart is totally upside down. It shows it is a symbol of balance, but it actually shows a very imbalanced life path for them, for every Libra ascendant person. Okay, it is not specific for you or for me. Every Libra ascendant person will have some issues about the instability in life. Then Venus rules their first house, and you are saying that Venus is sitting in the 8th house. That means Venus is sitting in the own sign. This is good position. Why it is good position that Venus is in own sign? It shows that person will first of all have the courage to go through all those ups and downs in life, and then he will gain out of all those changes. He will go through all this. We cannot neglect or deny those changes. We cannot negate those changes. He will go through all those changes, but he will have this uh, courage to go through, and in the end, eventually those changes will be beneficial for him. Now, if you are asking about relationship, then it is troublesome position because it is still 8th house. It shows many ups and downs in relationship. Saturn's aspect won't make it easy. Okay, from the 6th house. That means Saturn is in Pisces. So from the 6th house, Saturn's aspect is not going to be beneficial for Venus, okay, because Saturn is Saturn everywhere, okay, in any condition. So it is for relationship point of view, it is troublesome. For business point of view, it is an excellent position. If someone is inclined to do business, then it is an excellent position for of Venus of ascendant Lord in the 8th house in own sign. Okay, the person can gain a lot because 8th house has Taurus sign, which is the sign of wealth, and Venus is sitting in own sign. Venus itself represents wealth. Person can gain a lot, means they can be very rich if they go into the business. Then Scorpio ascendant 27. I am still having a hard time finding a soul mate. I want to get married and get settled ASAP. Please read my articles on astrology and marriage. So I have narrated everything there. I don't think I need to add anything. Astrology and marriage has no connection with each other. Okay. If you are new to following me on Facebook and all, this may make you wonder, but astrology and marriage has no connection, and I don't think there is anything like soulmate or. And then Venus is in 9th in Libra. Venus is in 9th house in Libra. It is a good position for higher education or traveling. You may like to travel a lot. You may like to go to the religious places, and you may like to read a lot. All those things are there. Hello, sir. What about Jupiter and Venus conjunction in 9th house in Scorpio? Aspecting third house of Taurus can be helpful for writing. Yes, I think I replied you on YouTube also. Your chart is, as got the indications, your chart is good for occult side of career. Means you can make your career in astrology, numerology, all these things if you are interested in. And with time, means third house is the communication. Third house is writing. That thing will take time in improving. Okay, that thing will writing doesn't come naturally to anyone. Okay, speaking can come, but will writing will take some time to improve. When we write our first letter in our life, first application or any kind of letter, it can be the worst letter in the world. Okay, but we then improve upon it. Okay, even if in my case I have written about 1,000 articles at least. If you look at the earlier articles, the when I initially started writing in 2015, if you look at those articles and if you look at now, you can find a complete difference. You may not even think that the same person has written these articles. Okay, so this is what writing will take some time, but you have this beautiful position of Jupiter and Venus together in the ninth house. It is a house of publishing also. Okay, so it can help you in publishing your thoughts which you write. So it can help you in writing. If you, I give you my date and time, date of birth and time, as well as the girls, will you be able to tell me the possibilities of being in relationship? I again say, read my all the articles on relationship and astrology. After that, you may not ask. Uh, I'm being divorced. Any chances of partner in future? You can have a relationship, no issues. Now, this is the difference between relationship and marriage. If you are just asking about relationship, then I can help you. But if you are asking about marriage as an institution, then I may not be able to help you. Okay. So relationship and marriage are completely different. Relationship is possibility. Marriage may not be a possibility. Marriage depends on lots of other things. Okay. So partner or relationship is always a possibility. No issues. If you are going through the Venus dasha, if you are going through seventh house dasha, then all these things can be there. So yeah, this can be a good time period for relationship. If person is going through Venus dasha, seventh house, fifth house dasha, all those things are there. So then what about business? What about business means depends upon your business and how long you have been doing. But if you are a Scorpio ascendant, I guess Venus becomes seventh house lord. It should help you in your business. Which year relationship article should I read from your side? You go to the consultation tab. There is a block of marriage consultation. All the important articles on relationship and astrology are written there. You take any one of them and you will be interested in reading other also. So it is like that. Then coming back to the business point that then if you are going through Venus dasha and Venus is ruling your seventh house, then it is going to be beneficial for your business. Then I think you have Venus with Jupiter exalted. So yeah, you it can be a good time for your uh, business, traveling, and higher learning. Okay, relationship can be there, partners can be there, but if it will convert into marriage or not, nothing. I cannot say. It depends upon lots of factors. 1957, nice. Thank you. Uh, any further question by anyone? 619. My Venus and Sun in the ninth house. I am having Venus Dasha. Venus and Sun in the ninth house, again, it is good for traveling, it is good for higher education and all. Relationship wise, it can give ego conflicts depending upon the degrees of Sun and Venus. If they are too close, it can be combust and it can give ego conflicts. So that can be troublesome. Okay. Any further question? Regarding relationship and astrology, my views are completely different. I don't think astrology has anything to do with marriage as an institution. Astrology can tell you when you can get into relationship. Understand this, that especially in Indian society, marriage depends upon lots of factors. Okay, it depends upon your caste, it depends upon your age, it depends upon your status in society, it depends upon your religion, language, region. Everything should be matching then only, and then also people have criterias, their own criterias. Then these are the social criterias. Two families can have further criteria. Okay, so astrology doesn't care where you are getting married. Stars have nothing to do with your marriage. Okay, so astrology can help you only in getting the relationship timing. That during this timing you can have a relationship. During this timing you can have good alliances coming to you. Okay, but will that alliance will convert into marriage, and it will become a serious committed relationship of marriage? It can be anyone's guess. Okay. Because it depends upon lots of factors. Okay. The like take an example that suppose I have a relationship. Okay, and after some time my parents may not agree because she is from the other caste or other religion. So can I say that astrology was wrong? No, astrology is not wrong, my society is wrong. Okay, so this is why the astrology and marriage should not be done. Even in the horoscope matching, I think it should be completely uh, scrapped, or horoscope matching should be used to see where your challenges are in the marriage. Nowadays, it is used to see what your spouse is bringing you, and what you are bringing to your spouse. Okay, I think this is completely wrong approach. I feel that horoscope matching should be used to see where what challenges you will face after marriage, and challenges will be there. Okay, in every relationship, even if a king or queen are marrying to each other, then also challenges will be there. Okay, so that's why I am in complete opposition of using astrology for relationship point of view, for marriage point of view. Nothing is there. Okay, but if you are just asking about a relationship or getting a partner, then astrology can help you, then I can help you. Okay, nothing, and there is nothing like soulmate. Okay, you and your soul is enough. Then Venus and Jupiter in ninth house in Scorpio ascendant, do relationship go successful? Um, and it depends upon a lot of factor again. Now this is the example. Okay. So you have given the one placement of your chart, Venus Jupiter in Cancer in ninth house. If it is big, it will be good or not. Okay. Venus becomes your seventh lord, so it is a significator of your relationship or partner or spouse. Now Venus is in enemy sign first of all. If it is in Ashlesha Nakshatra, then it is even more troublesome. Then we know about your chart. Right now we have no idea about anyone your partner's chart. Okay, his chart may have some more troublesome positions for relationship. Then, so that's why we cannot decide a person's relationship, whether it will be good or not, or successful, unsuccessful, only on the basis of one planetary position. There has to be both the charts together, and then only I can tell that these will be your challenges. I can even then I won't be able to tell you that your relationship will be successful, not successful. Yeah, I can only tell that these will be your challenges. You will would have to face these things. Okay, yeah, Aslesha. So it is not one of the positive nakshatra. I recently wrote about Aslesha nakshatra. So it can give problems in relationship. Now it is only about your chart so far. We don't know the person with whom you are in relationship, or you may be in relationship. Okay, that person may have some other problems in his chart. Then how can we be so sure about a relationship which is based upon the two people, or sometimes two family, that because of this one position your relationship will be successful? I cannot say that. At least I cannot say that. Maybe someone else has that much of knowledge. He may say that. So I think this is a good session, 1 hour, some relationship knowledge. Uh, Again, I will do one thing. I will post all the relationship related articles with this video, so that it can be helpful for you. Okay, great. Thank you. If anyone has any further question, they can always write me. I will try my best to reply ASAP. I don't think I have left anyone unreplied so far. Okay. Bye. Take care.